Some words are messengers. For them, there are no borders. Only sun, moon, and stars. A Texas state lawmaker is currently asking schools statewide to tell him whether they currently hold any of around 850 books on a list he has compiled, explaining that he is targeting materials that might make students feel discomfort, guilt, anguish, or any other form of psychological distress because of their race or sex. Dear Mr. and Mrs. Elliott, I recently read with interest your call to remove 282 books from your local school library. In it, you claim to have reviewed yourself all of these books and deemed them unfit for K-12 usage. Quite a range there. I was a bit surprised to see my novel on your list for removal from the library. You wrote that the book contains one or more of the following: Marxism, incest, sexually explicit material in written form or in visual pictures, pornography, CRT, immoral activities, rebellions against parents, and the material contradicts the ISD student handbook. As I looked through your screeds, it seems that this is how you describe each of those books. It's as if you copied and pasted that complaint 282 times. I want to say up front that I believe that your intent here is to protect your children. I echo your concern. I also want safety for children. It's one of the main reasons I write books for young adults. Beginning in the 9th century, books, including the works of Europe's top philosophers, astronomers, and intellectuals, were banned because they were seen as repugnant to the church. Now, with no restrictions upon these works, we can see just how large of an impact they had on our understanding of the universe. Now, a select few believe that banning certain books in today's society will enlighten us further, despite these books being some of the sole voices for those underrepresented in literature. Through the prose, An Open Letter to Those Who Wish to Ban My Books from School Libraries by Bill Kosenberg, the poem Words Are Birds by Francisco X. Alcron, articles from the American Library Association, NPR, and Associated Press, and through the text of several banned books, we'll see how important it is to keep these books on the shelves for children. I belong here, and so do my books, because all children deserve to have stories written for them. Melissa by Alex Gino. Kelly took a deep breath. And I'm sorry I ignored you last week. And you know what? If you think you're a girl... George braced herself for Kelly's next words. Then I think you're a girl too! Kelly leaped on her best friend and gave her a hug so big they both nearly toppled over. The open-mouthed surprise and joy on George's face only made Kelly smile harder. Challenged, banned, restricted, and hidden to avoid controversy for LGBTQIA content and a transgender character, because schools and libraries shouldn't put books in a child's hand that require discussion. Prince and Knight by Daniel Hock. The prince met many ladies, and he made them all swoon. But it was soon clear that he was singing a different tune. Thank you, he told his parents. I appreciate that you try, but I'm looking for someone different and a partner by my side. Challenged and restricted for featuring a gay marriage and LGBTQIA content for being a deliberate attempt to indoctrinate young children with the potential to cause confusion. Drama by Raina Telgemeier. I've known Greg since the 2nd grade. He's always been thick-headed, even if he is cute. Wait, what? When you say he's cute, do you mean like I like boys? Yeah. Oh! Is that okay? Is it cool that I told you? Yeah, it's cool. I guess I've never really met anyone that was actually gay. You can say it. I don't mind. This Stonewall Award-winning 2012 graphic novel from an acclaimed cartoonist was challenged and banned in school libraries because it includes LGBT characters and was considered confusing. I'd like you all to take out your journals and spend a few minutes reacting to this chapter. You may take a moment to reflect, but then get your pencils moving. I want you to dig deep and use some feeling words. God damn, you murderer! How the hell could you do such a thing? Some words are familiar, like canaries. Other words are exotic, like the quetzal bird. Some words die, caged. This inquiry is a disturbing and political overreach into the classroom. This is an obvious attack on diversity and an attempt to score political points at the expense of our child's education. I felt so isolated and alone and misunderstood as a teen. I so wished that there was a book out there that had a person going through what I was going through. See, I was gay. I knew I was gay because of my thoughts, not because of some book or TV show, because there basically were none of those things when I was back in school. According to a 2021 national study by the Trevor Project, 42% of LGBTQ youth considered suicide last year. LGBTQ youth are at risk precisely because of endeavors that aim to erase people like them from the library. The subtext of this is that your stories don't belong, and you don't belong. George knew that Mom was trying to make her feel better, but it didn't work. Nothing, certainly not a buffet dinner, could help the fact that Mom didn't see her. It would take many books, my life, and no one wants anyways to hear such stories. I want to hear it. Genderqueer by Maya Kababe, banned, challenged, and restricted for LGBTQIA content. Lawn Boy by Jonathan Evison, banned and challenged for LGBTQIA content. All Boys Aren't Blue by George M. Johnson, banned and challenged for LGBTQIA content. This Book is Gay by Juno Dawson, banned, challenged, relocated, and restricted for providing sexual education and LGBTQIA content. Beyond Magenta by Susan Coughlin, banned and challenged for LGBTQIA content. There are depressed kids everywhere. There are isolated, at-risk kids everywhere. There are LGBTQ kids everywhere. Getting rid of books from the library won't change that. It will just make life that much harder and more isolated for those children. Had I had a book like that on the shelf, I might have realized a lot sooner that I could love myself. I might have realized a lot sooner that it was okay to feel different. I'll end with a prayer for you because I know that you're religious. I pray that you and your family find prosperity and joy. I hope that in your prayers tonight, you will pray for at-risk kids who need those books. Because in many cases, their lives depend on it.